So today I'm going to go over a pretty common question that I actually get in both fitness and the strength and conditioning realms as supplements become increasingly more popular and target a lot more effectively. This main question that I tend to get is, what is glutamine and is it necessary to take for lifting performance? So as a disclaimer to start, um, since I'm not a RD or registered dietitian, I have to stay within my scope of practice as a CSCS. So my governing body, the National Strength and Conditioning Association, or NSCA, I have to stay. They mention multiple times about staying in my scope of practice, as there are differences between a sport nutrition coach and a sport nutritionist, where the sport nutrition coach has a background in proper diet, exercise, and supplementation, and can give basic nutrition advice. So I can't prescribe, but I could be considered like a sport nutrition coach. So I can just kind of give a little bit of information, but I cannot give targeted advice, or I can't give like targeted prescriptions to my athletes. That's where the sport nutritionist comes in, as they have an extensive background, usually registration as an RD in the field, and can give more thorough information for both medical, therapeutic, or performance-based dietary interventions. So on to glutamine. The main thing to understand, or the main thing to talk about, is what is glutamine. That's probably one of the most key things to understand. So glutamine is one of the 11 non-essential amino acids required for the body for a myriad of bodily functions, including cellular repair and maintenance. It's non-essential, meaning we can create it within our own body. We don't have to ingest. Half and triplet in the CSCS handbook 2015 classify it as like a semi non-essential, where like it's better if we have some, but we can make it ourselves. So Kandau et al. 2001 noted that glutamine infusion, rather than oral supplementation, has been shown to help decrease protein degradation and increase protein synthesis. So it is often assumed that the supplementation could be critical to resistance training performance. So that's where the dietary portion of it comes in. Dietary and other sources of glutamine can come from animal and plant sources. So that can include beef, chicken, pork, dairy products. Varying degrees of vegetables have glutamine in them. All that information I found on a quick search. I got the information from Tinsley in 2018 from healthline.com. It's also very common as a dietary supplement. It can be found in many various forms at both health food stores and supplement shops. Also, big box stores, Walmart and Target are starting to carry them a lot more, as their supplement aisles tend to grow a little bit over the past few years. Glutamine supplements are touted as being essential for skeletal muscle health and are usually put in some repair and recovery kind of drink. So it's all oral supplementation. Usually it's packaged with like branched chain amino acids, and those BCAAs are essential amino acids, meaning that we have to ingest them. We can't make them on our own. So they tend to throw glutamine in there, makes it seem like it's essential, that you have to have it for recovery, for repair. And so that's where some of the research starts to come in. So the question comes down to, is glutamine supplementation necessary for resistance or strength training performance? This could be any sport where hypertrophy, strength, power training is the main component of the sport. So that would include things like bodybuilding, powerlifting, Olympic weightlifting, strongman, things like that. When looking over the research, I didn't find a whole lot that looked at traditional sports like football, basketball, softball. It would be interesting to see that, but that's for a whole nother discussion. With these types of sports, strength sports that is, The focus of most of the training is to get bigger and or stronger, meaning that muscle breakdown, usually referred to as catabolism, and the subsequent building up or anabolism must occur to have some form of progress. Koruzat et al. In 2018 mentioned that in muscle breakdown situations where glutamine is not obtained from the diet at sufficient levels, the use of that kind of supplementation may be required. This would be more common with individuals that suffer from certain diseases or major injuries where the body is drastically broken down. And you may feel drastically broken down after doing a really intense workout, but it's not nearly as bad as, you get into a major car accident or you have some kind of disease that keeps you from maintaining your amino acid pool. I don't know of too many diseases. I know some people have protein leaks where that might be the issue. Definitely not my field though. As noted, glutamine is in most foods that have protein. Individuals that eat moderately well, I'm not saying the best eaters, even people that just average eating, be hard pressed to be in a glutamine deficit. So when reviewing proper dosing and efficacy of glutamine supplementation for sport training, Gleason in 2008 concluded that the various reasons for using a glutamine supplement have little support for use in healthy, well-nourished adults. He cited quite a lot in subsequent years with generally the same conclusion. So Kandau et al. In 2001 found that much of the research that supports the use of glutamine to drastically support liver, kidney, gut health, immune system support, as well as some anti-catabolic effects. They use infusion, so like a IV drip, rather than oral supplementation. So usually where they find that glutamine works, usually IV over or intravenous over doing oral supplementation. But these companies tend to use that kind of research without mentioning what method to which it was delivered to the body. Supplement companies generalize the use of a substance to spread the product line as being clinically proven to do X, Y, or Z, even though they're not getting the supplement in the same way that the studies note. And also, a lot of the supplement companies don't have any hyperlinks to any of the research that they say it's clinically proven for. Again, Kandau et al. In 2001 also hypothesized that normal supplementation may not work as strength or hypertrophy training is not stressful enough to require the need for glutamine compared to those with major injuries or illness. Again, working out beats your body up. It breaks down a little bit, but it's not nearly as bad as injury or disease can do it. So in conclusion, to answer the question, is glutamine necessary to take for lifting performance? The short answer is no. Both Kandau et al. In 2001 and Gleason in 2008 both mentioned that glutamine supplementation may be good for those in endurance sports. So that's a little bit more common with triathlon, marathon, Tough Mudder kind of people, or for those with extremely arduous training. So that would be, if you're a bodybuilder, it's the pro guys that are doing, 2-a-days, 5-6 times a week. It's, 2.5 up to 3 hours a session. That's a lot more arduous than the average person. For those that train at an appropriate level, they're generally healthy and eat well. It would be best to save your $34.99 for real food rather than making very expensive urine. Thank you.